Hey guys, we are here in Washington Square Park in New York City, and we're joining a dating run club.
You've probably seen it. It went viral all over social media. It's this single dating club that started really small. It's like ballooned.
If you're single, you wear black, and if you're in a relationship, you wear a color.
And then everyone goes to like a bar after to like mingle. Undercover, this is undercover journalism.
Oh, I think they're taking off. Okay. It's going well so far. Mingled.
Love running in the frigid November cold.
Just finished our run club experience, even though we ended up only running for a bit and then joining the hot walkers. But people, were mingling.
We spoke to some people. It seems definitely more friendlier than like going to a bar where everyone's kind of like segregated in their groups. People do want to meet here.
It's fun. I'm glad this is a good option.
Yeah.
Bye. A record number of Americans are single right now, and a big reason is that people are feeling sick of dating apps and want in-person connection.
Yeah, apps are definitely losing their appeal. 65% of dating apps get deleted within just a month. And beyond that, half of US adults say dating has gotten harder in the last 10 years.
So to get to the bottom of this singleness epidemic, we knew the perfect person to talk to is Ilana Dunn, host of the Seeing Other People podcast, which is a New York Times top dating podcast.
Hey, Ilana, welcome to NEWSGIRLS.
Wait, I need you guys in my back pocket at all times with these stats.
We're ready.
I didn't know these stats, and I'm fascinated, and I have so many thoughts. So thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I guess let's get into it. Like the first question, why do you think dating apps are dying? We kind of saw them peak like 5-6 years ago. Like why are they dying all of a sudden?
People are really burnt out from using them and overusing them. They've definitely become more of an addiction than a tool for so many people. And I think the biggest thing is coming out of COVID, people really wanted true, genuine human connection, and they weren't finding that on the dating app. So people are feeling so exhausted from swipe culture and swiping with no results. And so all they want is to meet people in person, but they don't know how to do that either because they're so used to going back to their phones.
100%. And in your work, are you seeing people opt for more IRL events? Like pickleball had its phase, and then run clubs, and now I'm seeing singles dinner parties.
Yeah, I'm seeing people really push themselves out of their comfort zone and actually go to these events and go to things like speed dating or, pick up a new sport or try running just to put themselves out there when, a year or two ago, they would have thought that's so taboo and weird. I'm not going to do that. But they're really, really craving that in-person connection. And I think it's actually having a really great effect, like a domino effect, where people are going to these events, they're seeing that, okay, I can have a conversation with a stranger and I'm not going to spontaneously combust. And then they're able to put it into practice in their real life day-to-day interactions. But we still have such a long way to go because they're not actually taking that next step to go meet somebody in person or to say hi to a stranger or to go to an event. But slowly but surely it is starting to shift.
What is your advice for getting over that mental block? Because it is hard and it is scary, and we're all like, fear of rejection is the number one reason why people don't ask others on dates.
If you don't try, you're rejecting yourself. You're not even giving the person the opportunity. Maybe they would love to talk to you. Maybe all they want is for someone to come up and talk to them. You're rejecting yourself on their behalf by not trying. So would you rather try, get the experience, have a conversation? Maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't. But if it doesn't, you're back where you were when you started, but you've also done this really hard thing, and next time it'll be easier. So you actually have nothing to lose by trying. Maybe the person's not interested or they're in a committed relationship already. They're still happy they did it because they're like, oh, wow, that actually wasn't terrifying, and we had a great conversation anyway.
Yeah, they survived.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
So what is your stance on apps? You seem like pro meeting in real life. Everyone's kind of over apps. What do you actually think about them?
I think they're an amazing tool, but that's what they are. They can't be the only way to date. You can't just rely on the dating apps. You're putting way too much power into this thing that a lot of it's out of your control. A lot of it is really up to luck and timing and the mood that you're in when you're swiping. And listen, I met my husband on Hinge. I worked at Hinge for 2 years.
Yeah.
I fully do believe that you can meet people on dating apps. You can't put all of your eggs in the dating app basket because when it doesn't work out, it's going to be so much more defeating and you're going to feel so much more hopeless. It's the same. It's like applying to colleges. You wouldn't just apply to one college, early decision. You would apply to a bunch of different colleges. You would have safety schools. You would apply to different programs within schools. You have to give yourself different options in order to create opportunity for yourself.
Definitely. And so you worked at Hinge, like kind of in its heyday, I would say, like the peak dating app. So what was that like?
It was really special. It was an amazing company filled with people who just want to help other people find love. And so there is this sentiment of like, the dating apps hate us and they want us all to be miserable. Like, that's not true. They exist because people want to help other people find love. I mean, we would have an all hands weekly meeting where we would celebrate success stories, and like we joked that we were in the art of like the baby making business. It was so cool and special to be in that environment. A lot of us don't know how to properly use dating apps, but the apps themselves, like they really do want you to meet people. Like the people who work at these apps are there for a good reason.
That's encouraging to hear.
Well, because we've talked about this. We've always like been skeptical about like the incentive of dating apps. Like that's how they make money, is like working,
right?
Like having single people kind of join in to meet other people. So we've talked about this. Like, what are their true like intentions?
Hinge, for example, they have this slogan, designed to be deleted. And people are like, well, that's bullshit. Designed to keep you on forever. Yes, they're no longer going to be an active user on the app. Maybe they're no longer going to be a subscriber, but they are somebody who's going to tell everyone they know, I met my significant other on Hinge. And they are a walking advertisement for the app if it works for them. So they really do want people to meet someone and get off the app.
And how do you think Hinge became, I would say, the biggest dating app I hear my single friends use? Like it used to be Tinder and then it was Bumble. And now like Hinge supremacy has stayed for a while. Like what did they do?
I do think there's something to be said about the fact that they started as the mutual friends app where people felt a little safer, or like they felt more comfortable. Like it was people that they could meet in real life.
So what did you do while you were there?
Video and content producer and lead content creator. So I ran their social media. So I was creating content, creating dating advice. I was taking over their Instagram story every single day, talking to their audience and really, in the DMs with them, like in the thick of it, figuring out what do they need help with? How can we help them? What insight can we give? How can we teach them to use the app better? Because I think one of the biggest problems with dating apps is they just appeared one day. And nobody actually taught anyone how to use them.
I think especially the men need this lesson.
So give everyone a lesson. Like what would you, how do you use an app?
A lot of it comes with the creation part. And I think this is going back to that original stat that you mentioned of the percentage of users that delete it within the first month. People are so eager to get on that they are rushing through the profile creation phase. They're just uploading whatever 6 pictures they think are the most attractive. They're answering the prompts in whatever like witty way they can come up with. They're not actually saying anything about themselves. We should be making sure that so many different sides of us are shown and brought out in our profile, that we're, giving people parts of our personality and showing them like, hey, if you date me, like this is what that might look like.
Would it be weird to like upload like your wishes and dreams and like ethics on a dating app when everyone is just kind of like casually using it?
I think you have to show, not tell.
Yeah.
You can't, so many people, I do dating app profile revamps like as a side gig. What I see so often is people come with like a laundry list of like green flags I look for: communicative, empathy, kind, supportive, creative, outgoing. And it's this laundry list of things they want in a partner. So we have to, show that we want somebody who is adventurous rather than just saying we want adventure. And we can show that through our photos. We can show that through a prompt of what our typical Sunday is like.
My biggest thing is you can't read someone's energy through a dating app. And I know for me as a person, I'm so susceptible to that, like meeting someone in person, like how do they carry themselves, their charisma. And then when you get on the app, it's so like one-dimensional. I like boil them down to just the superficial things, like where they go to school, how tall are they? And then I judge it on that, and you don't get like a 360 view of someone.
Absolutely. I mean, think about like when you meet somebody in person, you're not just learning where they grew up and what school they went to and what degree they got and what job they have now, like in 3 seconds, and then making a snap judgment. You're feeling out the vibe and you're seeing if you guys click and having a conversation, and then you're finding that out. I mean, I have a friend who she's very smart. She loves like intellectually stimulating conversations. She has always wanted to be with somebody who like went to an Ivy League school. She met somebody at work and she fell in love with him. He is none of the things that she thought she wanted.
Do you think though that dating apps have created this like overwhelming impression that there's like a billion choices out there? Like, is that kind of like an issue that if this person isn't perfect, I'll like swipe 800 more times to find someone who is perfect?
For some people, for like one bucket of people over here, it is absolutely an issue. And there are other people who can't get a date. They can't get a match for the life of them on the apps. The apps are not working for them. So it's two completely different buckets of people with very different issues.
So do you think dating apps have changed the culture like irreversibly? Like, going back to IRL, is that even possible at this point, or are they here to stay?
I think dating apps are here to stay, but I don't think people are going to only rely on the dating apps the way they have over the past decade. And I think there are so many dating apps popping up that are doing dating in a different way, where they're trying to solve for this real life connectivity problem. They're trying to solve for, you know, women feeling more safe on the apps. This app, for example, Foreplay Social, they are a double dating app, essentially. So you and your best single friend make a profile together and you swipe on other single friends together. And so it's these joint profiles, and it takes the pressure off, because at the end of the day, you could go out with somebody you matched with and maybe none of you end up like hitting it off in a romantic way, but the four of you have so much fun together, and at the end of the day, you're out with your best friend, you know, creating memories.
Totally.
It's a story to tell, and it's fun.
And probably more comfortable.
Safer, for sure. And you have somebody like in the thick of it with you. I think that's an awesome app. This app, First Rounds on Me, in order to match, somebody proposes a date plan, and you either accept or decline the date plan, and then the chat doesn't open until 12 hours before your date is planned. So there are apps out there that are really working to make it a better experience, and I do think it's a matter of like which of them are gonna, you know, cut through and make it. I do think this desire for people to meet in real life is going to ultimately benefit the dating space as a whole, because I also think it will lead to better date conversations even for people who do meet on the apps.